This show was first broadcast on Free FM 89.0, Hamilton, New Zealand's community access radio station. For more information on our station and our wide range of programs, visit freefm.org.nz.
The music that they're planning to use to crumble the morals of America is this rotten, filthy, dirty, lewd, lascivious junk called rock and roll.
An hour of 60s underground music from around the world. Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Radio. Great 60s Garage Punk, freakbeat and psychedelia. Podcast via all good podcasting providers and facebook.com/retrospect Garage Punk Radio.
I enjoy your music so much, and I think it's wonderful the fun that you get out of it.
Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. I'm your host, Phil Gray. Fantastic way to get this episode 629 underway. My information says, speaking of rockabilly sci-fi freakouts, check out Gene and the Esquires Space Race instrumental out of California from 1965. Super cool track, and I'm not taking credit for that because this week I have another guest selector. Well, we've had him before. Mr. John Brain from London, Ontario. Welcome again to Retrospect.
Well, thanks for having me on again, Phil. This is a real joy for me to be here, and I concur that Gene and the Esquires Space Race is definitely a perfect introduction to all this.
It was a release on Derby Records, an Italian release, well, also released in France, but I think they're an American band because it also came out on GNP Crescendo,
which was the Seeds record label. And so that kind of caught my eye as well. But when I saw the GNP Crescendo label, I thought, I also saw all the different records from all over the world. And I thought, where does it come from? But it appears, yes, it does come from California.
John, I'm here in Hamilton, New Zealand. You're in London, Ontario. You're sitting in a space that I see you online refer to as the Brain Bunker. Tell me about the Brain Bunker.
Well, the Brain Bunker is a 2,000 square foot industrial space that I use as my creation headquarters for both custom bicycles and my artwork. And I have been literally living here, staying here, working here for about 30 years now. And this is where all the action happens. This is where my collections are. This is where I listen to my music. And this is where I do my research. So everything happens out of the Brain Bunker.
If you're not familiar with John Brain, or you haven't heard him on Retrospect before, lives in London, Ontario, raised in Detroit. You're an artist and you are considered the custom bike king of North America.
custom bicycles are something. I used to build and show custom bicycles, and when I say custom bicycles, I don't mean, custom 10-speed bikes that I race. I build customized bikes, custom with a K, that say, if you're familiar with chopper motorcycles, the custom motorcycle field, it's kind of related to that. So I build chopper bicycles, I build custom bicycles, everything related in a cool automotive fashion that all kind of came to the forefront back in the 1960s and 70s. And I've been doing it a long time, and I've been sharing my knowledge and information about it. And for some strange reason, I have a bit of a name in the bike world, from everywhere from Indonesia to California to South America. And so it's a lot of fun.
If you want to find out more about that, just search John Brain Custom Bicycles. You'll find plenty of information about them. All the choices of this episode of Retrospect are John's, and we are going to go straight into your second choice from our lineup for this episode, a band called Trojans of Evil, out of an area, I guess not too far from where you grew up, Gary, Indiana. Very deprived town now, isn't it, Gary, Indiana? I see lots of references to it. A broken city.
From what I understand, yeah. It's like so many of the big industrial or old industrial centers. Gary, Indiana has had a big downturn in its ability to make do, and it's unfortunate. So many cities are like that.
Trojans of Evil, recorded in Columbia Studios in Chicago. They're a garage band that played at parties and small events around the area, and their record that we're going to have, Through the Night, got quite a lot of airplay in Gary, Indiana. John, cool choice. Let's check it out. Trojans of Evil from 1966. The track is Through the Night.
And somehow we're going to have to fight this stuff. We cannot let our country go into this abyss. This is disgraceful.
Retrospect.
Have you ever felt blue? And I know what to do. No matter where you go, you're ashamed of your clothes. All the clothes you own, you want to scratch. Every If you had TKs, yeah, TK switchbacks. Your TKs, yeah, you can mix your TKs, no matter what you wear, there's no compare. They're made to make you look like you should, no matter what you wear, you look good. They all look so good, 'cause they are TKs, yeah, TKs switchbacks. Get TKs and switchbacks. Get TKs and switchbacks. Get TKs and switchbacks.
Hi, this is John Brain from London, Ontario, and you're listening to Phil Gray's Retrospect radio show.
Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show, episode 629. I'm Phil Gray. My co-host and track selector this week is my friend John Brain from London, Ontario. John, 3 choices of yours. We had Trojans of Evil through the night starting the set. Tell us about the second one.
The Chantels. Now, they're out of Montreal, and from what I understand, it was a band that was hired by a company that produced a brand or a line of clothing called TKs. And TKs were jeans, and they were kind of a youthful fashion accessory that, young people were, wearing back in Canada, and it was sold all over Canada. You can still buy new dead stock of TKs on places like, the internet and different places. But the Chantels were hired by the company that made TKs, Monarch Wear, I think was the company's name. And they were hired to go to malls and to go to different youth events and to promote TK jeans. And so what's interesting is that in the, they kind of tried to shame, the people buying and said, if you're ashamed of your jeans, or if you're, then get TKs and you're going to make out all right.
Third track, a band called The Clue on a label called Byron from 1967. They're out of Texas. John, another cool track. All the choices you make are cool tracks. The Clue, Bad Times. What inspired you to pick that one for this episode?
There's certain records that I kind of go back to on occasion. I've been collecting the Pebbles series of compilations going back probably to the 1980s. And in preparation for this selection this week, I went back to my old vinyl, Pebbles Vinyl Volume 8, and there it was, one of my all-time favorite songs, Bad Times by The Clue, from Texas. And some things, you can play over and over again and you never get tired of them. And that's one of them.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray. Phil Gray. Phil Gray. Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray's Retrospect.
Carrying on with this week's lineup of super cool 60s garage selections from my co-host John Brain, a band called the Smoke Rings.
One of those great early psychedelic songs that just kind of grabs to my taste, and I really like that. Now, they were formerly, before they were the Smoke Rings, they were the Romancers, and I'm not exactly sure when they switched over, but the Smoke Rings was another one of those songs that one of my all-time classic favorites, and I thought I would pull that out of the dungeon, I guess, out of the Brain Bunker dungeon, and put it on the list here today, and one of my favorites.
They did a couple of albums. They did a 63 album called Do the Slousen. I don't know what a slousen is. And another one in 64 called Let's Do the Swim. They sound like novelty records for sure.
I thought, what was it? Billy Freeman or something did The Swimmer. I can't remember. Long time ago. What's interesting is how some of the, probably even doo-wop or very, popular pop groups kind of eventually grew their hair a bit and got tuned in with the psychedelic scene, especially the groups from California. Kind of fascinating.
Yeah. Let's check it out. The Smoke Rings, Love's a Thing, out of LA, 1966.
Destination unknown. Courtesy of LSD 25.
Retrospect.
That is a beautiful, beautiful record.
Retrospect.
Youth Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show, set of 3, starting off with Los Angeles band The Smoke Rings, Love's a Thing. Then we moved on to, well, a more psychedelic track, another selection of John Brain's.
And the band is called Sartori. The person behind Sartori was a guy named Dennis Workington, and he was a multi-talented instrumentalist. And that was kind of his solo, or, you know, he basically did everything on the record, as far as I know. And what's interesting is the flip side of that record is called 1,000 Micrograms of Love. So, you know, you kind of get a sense that he's moving in that psychedelic direction pretty heavily.
Yeah, that's a track we've had on Retrospect at some stage, but I don't know that we ever had Time Machine. So cool selection. Then thirdly, out of Cleveland, Ohio, a band called The Missing Links. So many bands had this name. There was a Missing Links down here in Australia or New Zealand? Australia, I think. This Missing Links, LYNX.
I know there was quite a number of missing links, as in, you know, missing links like, you know, Dr. Leakey found the missing link. But the Missing Links here from Cleveland, Ohio, they, I believe they were on the Dyna Voice label, which occasionally pops up. 1967, a great psychedelic. This is kind of where I'm tending to this time around, and I'm hoping on a couple of these I've stumped you, but I don't know. We'll see.
Track called Behind Locked Doors from 1967.
Now it's even easier to get your weekly dose of 60s garage rock, garage punk, freakbeat and psychedelia. Simply ask your Spotify-enabled device to play you Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show.
And heading back to, well, your stomping ground as a young man. You grew up in Detroit. That's where this band came from. They're called the Sunliners.
Now, the Sunliners eventually became the big band Rare Earth, which I grew up listening to on WKNR Keener 13 in Livonia, Michigan, where I grew up. And I was not familiar with the Sunliners or their earlier song, Land of Nod, but I do believe that the Land of Nod did wind up on a Rare Earth album with maybe some slight changes, but an incredible force of psychedelia. Really amazing. It was just beautiful.
They formed in 1960, originally called the Glowworms.
Oh, another band name that I'm not familiar with, but we'll have to hunt that up.
Well, we'll check them out. From 1967, the Sunliners, this is Land of Nod.
Like a dove high above, we can fly. Or take a trip on my ship to the sky.
Elevate to the heights, away from neon nights. Cross poppies in the side, come to the land of Nod. The man is pounding on my door. He sees me lying on the floor. Says I gotta move, gotta find a place to groove.
Like a dove high above, we can fly. Or take a trip on my ship to the sky.
Elevate to the heights, away from neon nights. Cross poppies in the side, come to the land of Nod. Take a trip on my ship, we're going to the land of Nod. Gotta find a place to to the land of Nod. On my ship, go to the land of Nod. Gotta ride in the land of Nod.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to take a trip on an LSD sugar cube?
Retrospect.
I looked into the sky was dark and mad. The sadness in your eyes told me how much time I had. The water beat the window pane. It is the morning of the rain. Now come along with me. Now come along, and we'll fly free.
isn't just the lyrics, it's the beat.
Retrospect, 60s garage punk, garage rock and psychedelia.
Don't you know that I still love her so? Can't you see that I have a love to show? It's wrong for me to love her so. Every time I see her, just seems to pass me by. Guess I just might as well die. But every time I see her, it's with another guy. We're all so far apart. She's got another boy to play my part. Can't you see she's broken this boy's heart? So, can't you see that I have a love to show? Is it wrong for me to love her so?
Things definitely getting psychedelic here on Retrospect, thanks to my selector of all the tracks this week, Mr. John Brain. We had a set of 3, which we did start with Land of Nod from the Sunliners out of Detroit. Followed that up with a band called Troyes, Troyes,
and they were from Battle Creek, Michigan. A number of years ago in my journeys of collecting old records, I found a couple of the Troyes 45s. One of them was Rainbow Chaser, and I thought, oh, this is it was kind of a popish psychedelic song, but the Morning of the Rain is a little deeper, a little darker. And being from Michigan, I didn't know they were originally from Michigan until a number of years ago, but I know now. But they had a number of very popular local records, and another one was Help Me Find Myself, Battle Creek, Michigan, where Kellogg's cornflakes used to be made. I don't think they're made there anymore, but is the sound that I have been attracted to ever since I was a kid. So when I newly discover a lot of these records and they have the sound that I like, I'm attracted to it like, a moth to a light. So it's beautiful.
There's a 2014 compilation called the Troyes Rainbow Chaser Complete Recordings, which actually, you talked about the song Rainbow Chaser. There's actually 3 different versions of that on there. You talked about Kellogg's too. The final track on that compilation is actually called Cornflake. Which I can only guess might have been a some sort of paid gig.
I don't know, to tell you the truth, or maybe it was a dig at Kellogg's, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so that was the Troyes' 3rd track in the set, Psychedelic Soul, from a band called the Strags.
Yeah, from what I understand, they were from Mississippi, which is kind of a state where you don't get a lot of the the heavy, unusual psychedelic from that time. I guess they were a little bit more conservative than many of the other states, but they were on a compilation called Psychedelic States, the Mississippi Psychedelic States Comp, and if you want to hear more of that kind of stuff, that's where you find it. But a great young teen band. I mean, they must have been adolescents when they did this, but a great youthful force of music. I love it.
In October 67-45 on a label called Rap Records, Psychedelic Soul was the A side of that, and the band from a place called Meridian, Mississippi, the Strags with Psychedelic Soul.
Hi, I'm Phil Gray, host of Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. It's a labour of love, and if you dig what I do, why not buy me a beer? Or just a coffee?
You can do that now via buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Phil Gray. That's buymeacoffee.com/MrPhilGrey, Mr. Phil Gray. I may not be able to have a beer or coffee in person, but we can do it virtually. On with the show. Well, we're getting through this week's playlist of very, very cool material selected by John Brain. So let's carry on with this next set, which is our brief global garage set. Starting off in Belgium with a band called The Sheiks, or Shakes, however you prefer to pronounce that.
Now, what I like, and the reason that I have moved beyond, say, the United States and into, say, a worldwide interest, or an interest in worldwide music, is because of Retrospect. Listening to Retrospect over time, I have gained a much greater liking and affinity to what was going on broadly around the world. So I keep an eye out for this stuff. The next song, The Sheiks, from Belgium, 1965, called Since She's Gone, I was instantly attracted to it as, you know, the kind of repetitive beat that and the sound of the instruments is just compelling. You can't not love it.
This is a 1965 B-side of the My Need single on a label called Covardia. The Sheiks out of Stekeen, Belgium. This is Since She's Gone.
Turn around, since she's gone. Will I find anybody who try to understand? Just a good old fellow who married shot his if I will be happy again, but in my case I know they'll understand why I prefer to have spoiled my life better than trying to remake my life, 'cause she's gone. I turn around, since she's gone. Will I find anybody who tries to understand? Just a good old fellow who married shot his hand. I turn around, since she's gone. 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 free. Advise the friends I've been dear. Till then your distance make it clear. I was busted, you've been free. I was busted, you've been free. I was busted, you've been free. Now you got plenty to say. I know it now, you're not to blame. That boy you played a game with you, the same game that you used to do. Now you feel it, just the same. Now you feel it, just the same. Now you feel it, just the same. Now you set me by the phone, that you're dependent and alone. While you're waiting at my place, please heart your charming pretty face. Don't seduce me, let me free. Don't seduce me, let me free. Don't cry again, baby. Go away now. Turn them off. Turn them off. Off.
Retrospect.
And that is our Global Garage selections for this week. Thanks to John Brain, my guest selector for this week. We started off in Belgium with the Sheiks. We had a second track from Belgium as well.
Ah, yes, the Tony Man and the Lions, Don't Seduce Me. It's it has that heavy It's a little bit psychedelic. It's moving towards that direction, but it's kind of like one of those relationship songs, you know, but they have the right feel and they have the right beat, and it's a pretty intense thing to listen to. And, you know, I was drawn to it instantly.
1968 release on Ideal Records, Don't Seduce Me, from this band out of Beringen, Belgium, founded 1960. Then we go to Peru for a track that I slip into the show on several occasions now. Los Holies is the name of the band.
Their song, Sueno Psychedelico from 1967, as soon as I heard it, I had visions in my mind about midget wrestlers being brought to the ring, you know, with this music playing on loudspeakers. And I don't know why. They probably, you know, mod, midget, psychedelic wrestling. Anyways, that's what it sounded like to me. But, you know, some of the breaks in this song are very, very intense, very psychedelic. It's just a blockbuster of an international song.
Sueno Psychedelico, John, that's a remake of an American track, isn't it?
It's a remake of a much earlier song by a group called the Sandals, and this song by the Sandals was called The Scrambler. So it's sort of one of those beach instrumental kind of songs, but Los Holies, you know, hyped it up, psyched it up, and made it into a real tour de force. Just incredible.
Great selection of tracks out of Belgium and Peru.
Frequently, persons taking LSD under controlled conditions reported a new ecstatic sense of unity with all of life.
Retrospect.
Almost at the end of this week's Retrospect, selections from John. A band called The New Wing now. Originally, they were called the Sons of Adam.
Right. And originally, The New Wing originally came from Alberta, Canada. Like so many bands back then, they viewed California as the place to go if they ever hoped to make it in the industry. Originally in Alberta, they went by the name Sons of Adam. And when they moved down to California, they became The New Wing. And I Need Love was one of the songs that they recorded down there. And thankfully we have access to it. And it is one of my all-time favorite songs. It's a little bit punk. It's a lot of psychedelic, and it is incredible. So I love it.
Just to clarify, this band were known as the Sons of Adam. They're not the Sons of Adam, the LA band. So that's why they changed their name. They moved to LA. There was already a Sons of Adam there, doing quite well. So let's check it out. The New Wing, I Need Love. Very cool track from a band called The New Wing out of Alberta. They transplanted to California. A track called I Need Love. All of these selections in this episode chosen by John Brain from London, Ontario. It's been a pleasure having you with me on Retrospect again, John.
Thank you very much, Phil. And every week I try religiously to listen to Retrospect when I can. And it really gives me a boost every week. And what I want to tell your listeners is, if you want to understand this genre of music as best you can, this is the only place to go. Retrospect is your source for 60s garage, punk, and psychedelia. It's where you need to go, so do it.
Thanks for that, John. One more selection from you, and we always finish Retrospect with an instrumental. You pitched me a couple. I selected the one from Davey Allen and the Arrows. Davey Allen, it's essentially session muso, wasn't he? He had a band made up of other session musos.
He was a session musician, but he also played Davey Allen and the Arrows was also very popular in clubs and, appeared numerous TV shows and things like that. The sound that Davey Allen and the Arrows has, and Davey Allen is an absolute master at fuzz tone guitar, one of my all-time favorites. And I think we played another one of his on another occasion. This song, The Stompers and the Souls, from the movie Glory Stompers, is just an instrumental tour de force of psychedelic kind of craziness. It is just, it really evokes the time, and it really evokes the biker scene and what was going on in the movies back then. So I played it for somebody that I knew, and they said, "My God, John, it sounds like the Munsters on acid." Yeah, well, I guess you're right. I guess it's right. Yeah. So it is crazy. It is wild. Yeah, like that. So you're going to want to listen.
Thank you for that selection. Thank you for every one of the choices and the thought you've put into this episode. Always a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh, I hope we can get together another time, Phil. And I want to thank you again for your dedication and making this kind of music that I love available to everybody around the world. Not a week goes by that I don't look forward to hearing what you come up with next. I keep hoping that I'm going to maybe stump you one of these times, but stumping Phil Gray on vintage psychedelia is something that is likely not going to be possible. So, but thank you very kindly, and keep up the great work, man. I really appreciate it.
Connect with Retrospect. Retrospect's Garage Punk Radio on Facebook and Retrospect 60s Garage Punk on Instagram. And for back episodes, find Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and lots more great podcasting platforms.
Am I supposed to be a big fan? Fine, but it's really not appropriate.
This Free FM podcast was brought to you with support from New Zealand On Air.